I started the recording. Okay. Yes, guys. As I was saying, we were like currently working on a mobile app testing project. It's been going on for a few weeks now, and the client is a major mobile app, Z5. So probably all of you might be knowing that, right, and using it as well. And we have been receiving a request from them to do this mobile app testing, more of a OTP validation. So basically, the requirements for this project is that you should be having the smartphone with the Z5 app installed, and then you would be expected to do different validations that keep coming up. And the challenge here is it will be a random request, meaning like there is no certain date or time when you will get this. So it could come today, it could come tomorrow, next week, and it's going to be a ad hoc testing that needs to be completed in a short span of time. Say maybe if the request comes tomorrow morning, it has to be validated by the end of the day, and we will need to share the status with the client. So for example, the last request was to validate whether the login requirement login is working for a Z5 app. Basically, logging in using the OTP that is generated, right? So at a broad level, that was the requirement, and we completed that activity. So similar to that, we keep getting multiple requests that we need to validate in the app and share the status. Okay, so and so Karthik and me have been working on a process to do this effectively, and the first step in that activity is filling up this crowd testers form. So this is basically the input that we require from you to know, the details about you. For example, your name, email, and your location. So, for example, the validation is not specific to one locality. For example, it could apply to all the states in India. So we need resources who can do the login validation, say from Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, everywhere, UP, and it has to be a distributed validation. So we are trying to identify potential candidates who can do this for us, and we identify them by using this form. So this form will basically give us an split up of like where are the testers from. In your case, right, it could be from any part of India. And so once you fill up this form with all the details, the city, the state, the smartphone, and the client confidentiality. So once we have these input, so we can get an idea that, okay, this is the pool of testers that we have from across the country. So I will share this form with you, and so this is the first step which you will need to fill in and share to us. Right, and then so let me walk through the requirement which we received last week. And this is the instructions document, which also I'll be sharing to you, so that if there is any new requirement, I will update it here and share this request to you, and you can go through the same, get the idea like what is the activity about, perform the steps, and then share the results to us. So for example, as you see here, let me go down through the steps. Right. So one prerequisite is you'll be having the smartphone, right? So, and in your smartphone, you're expected to install any screen recorder app. So we recommend the X recorder, or you can use any screen recorder app basically that should record the steps that you perform on your screen. So the first step will be to install the screen recorder, and then in this case, since you are working on the Z5 app, you will need to install the Z5 app. So that will be a prerequisite. Once you do that, you open the app, and before this step, your screen recorder should be on. So once the recording is on, open the Z5 app, click on the login functionality. So this is the first request which we completed recently. And once you launch a login page, you should be able to enter a valid mobile number, right? So wherein you can input your valid mobile number and then do the login using an OTP. So usually we all see an option to log in with an OTP, right? So you should click on that, and then the validation happens here, wherein you check whether the OTP is getting received within a minute. So whether it could come in 5 seconds, 10, 15, 20 seconds, and that has to be shared with us. I will show you the result document as well. So basically this OTP validation is the core of this activity. So once you get the OTP, you should have to enter the OTP and click on sign up. And this is the first activity you should receive. And once you have done this, you can stop the recording and then submit your responses in a Google form. And so this is a response Google form, which also I'll be sharing with you. So, and these will be having all the fields that we require. For example, what was the time you started the test, and your phone number, and what is the kind of network? Is it a Wi-Fi or a 4G or 3G? What is the platform? So most of us will be using the Android app. If some of you are not using that, you can also use a mobile web. So either of three, if it's an iPhone, and you can mention it iPhone. And what is the device you are testing? What is the OS installed in your device? And is it a mobile app or the web version? And if you're using the Z5 app, you can find the app version in the Z5 at the bottom of your app. So all these details you need to share to us. What is the mobile carrier, the state, and did you receive the OTP? If you receive the OTP, how much time did it take in seconds? And then, so once you have input all these fields, we also need to share the recording which you have done using X Recorder, right? So just save it as an MP4 or any format and put it in your Google Drive and share that readable Google URL to us so that we can verify that you have done the validation as per the expectations. And in case you didn't receive the OTP or you found any other issue, you can put it up in the comment section saying you didn't receive the OTP or like whatever was the issue. Right? And you also need to submit this form after the testing is completed. Any questions so far? Okay, so no questions. So let me show you
I think there are two hands raised. If you can observe in the attendees, hands are raised. If you unmute them, they may be having questions.
Okay. Yes, team, I unmuted everyone. Okay, I'm seeing some answers. Yes, Purna or Sagar or Sirisha, word please.
Yeah, I have a quick question. So do I need to install screen recorder on my iPhone device?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, is it a separate app for that?
We recommend X Recorder, or you can use any screen recorder, but X Recorder is what we are recommending. Yeah.
X Recorder.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, team? Sagar, Sirisha. So I think I can show you a recording. Yeah, I even have one. So this was recorded using the X Recorder app. So Z5 was installed as a prerequisite. I am launching the app. So recording has been enabled before we perform these steps. So once you launch the app, I need to wait for a few seconds till the mandatory ad is shown. Okay, so as you see, I'm clicking on login and then entering my mobile number. So this is the first time I'm signing up. I'm registering basically. So once we have done the registration, we will have the option to log in using the OTP. So as you see, there is a send OTP button at the bottom right. And we click on that. And we have to wait for the OTP. So it's taken about 8 seconds for OTP. It's going beyond 15 seconds, yeah. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the OTP to arrive, which I'll be inputting here. Yeah, So once we got the OTP, I am inputting it in these fields. And we have to note down the number of seconds it took for the OTP to arrive. I believe it took around 20 seconds now. Okay, I'm seeing some more hands raised. Yes, so we have logged in using the OTP now. The OTP validation was successful. And yeah, so and there might be some requests where we will have to play a few episodes and check whether they are loading immediately. So how much time does it take for the episodes to load? That could be an additional validation. So this is one such example. And similarly, as and when we get more requests, we will be sharing it with you so that you can go ahead and do the validation and share the results to us. So let me show you the response that we received recently. So for example, so this is how we collect the details. So this was a timestamp of validation, the start time, the phone number. So basically whichever you filled in this response form, right? And we will be consolidating this and then sharing this with the client. App version. So if it's what is a mobile carrier, Geo, Airtel, whatever. And this is the app version of the Z5 app basically. And whichever is not applicable, you can mark as not applicable. And the state. So this is going to be crucial. So from which part of the country are you doing this validation? And was the OTP received? Yes or no? If it's yes, or like how much time did it take? And this is a link, your Google Drive. So whatever the recording which you did, you could upload it in your Google Drive and share as the link to the same. And in case there are any comments, you can put it up here. Any other questions, team? Was it clear? And this is a basic validation, and and we are expecting more such testing requests from the client. And we wanted to know, like like how many of you will be interested to do this activity regularly. So as I said, it's an ad hoc request, so meaning we don't know when will the request come in, but as and when it comes, I will be reaching out to you immediately, and probably we should be able to complete this within a day. Sagar, I see your hand is raised. Any question? Okay, is it unmuted? Guys, can you hear me? No, Purna, it was just a recording. What I showed you was the recording of the Z5 app using the X recorder. It's a recording that I've saved as an MP4 format. I have unmuted everyone. Can you guys hear me, please? Please confirm.
We can hear you, Ramu.
Okay, fine. Because people were typing.
Purna, you have questions. You have your hand raised. Do you want to speak? We have you unmuted. Another thing, Ramu.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Google document that we prepared. There are a few things I want everyone to please note. Number one, this is not OTP testing, which is one-time PIN. And Ramu, you've done that mistake in a couple of places. It is called OTT testing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this, it's saying for the OTP registration flow. So that is one of the things. But the app itself is an OTT app. Do anyone know what is OTT, team? Any one of you? OTT. What is OTT?
One-time password.
That's correct for OTP. What is OTT?
I said over the top media service.
That is correct. Exactly. Exactly. So it's called over the top. Earlier, when we had to watch television or media, we used to have cables running to us, and we had to have channels to subscribe, and then you can watch the programs, media, entertainment, sports, whatever be it. Now, one of the first OTT platform, what was it? Anyone?
Netflix.
That's correct. Perfect. So Netflix is a great example. Hotstar is a great example, and so on. All of these are
Amazon.
Amazon Prime. Yeah. Where your media is getting streamed via the internet directly to your end device. Now, the end device can be a television with media on it, like Wi-Fi and so on. It can be a computer, it can be a smartphone, iPad, and so on. So that's our OTT testing. So Z5 is the app from the Z company, ZTV, which got more popular for OTT, over the top telecasting of their media and so on. Now, so Z5 wants to make sure that their application is working correctly on the mobile devices. Now, how many of you know what is the difference between a native mobile app and a hybrid or web app in a mobile phone? Anyone know native mobile app and what is the difference?
Like, is a native app specifically designed for a phone's OS? And hybrid, is it something like a website plus phone?
Very nice, very good answer. Exactly. So native app is something that gets installed on your device. You have to go to your iTunes or Play Store and download the app and then install it on your device. And using that installed app, you will be able to perform your operations. So a lot of apps that you see on your smartphone are nothing but these installed applications that we do. Those are native apps. But sometimes user will say, I don't necessarily have an app in the Play Store or iTunes and so on, but go to my website using a mobile browser on your local device, and you will see a responsive website that looks nice enough for our operation. So now the next question, Z5, is it a native app team?
Yes.
Perfect. Yes, it is, because we're going to download it. So at the moment, one of the important instructions team is this is going to be a lot of activity that we will continue to do on Z5. The only challenge is we don't know what is the functionality we're going to test and when we may have to test. Now, what we plan to do is, in the meanwhile, empower our skills overall on how do we do mobile app testing. Maybe slowly towards automation, but manually also, what is the process? We know how we do web application testing, but what is so different about mobile applications and how do we handle them? That becomes important. And I personally believe having a OTT mobile app testing project on your resume will also do very good. So, Ramu, if you don't mind, let's go to that Google document once.
Yes.
And team, please do not do any of the tasks without reading them completely. Okay. So the first one is fine. This is a sample output video. Why don't we play that once, Ramu, or any of the videos that we have? So when we do the screen recorder installed on your machine, after that you come to the registration process. And then at that time you're able to do the screen recording. So this is where a user goes, clicks on an episode of plays it, I believe, or I don't know. Let's see what happens here. A 3-minute recording. Are you all able to see this? So they played for a few seconds. I don't believe they're
I'm
logged.
just-
So this is one of those outputs. So when you do this, now here is the registration process. The user has watched or viewed some free content, now is able to register with a cell phone number. But team, please note, as of now, it is just domestic in the sense belonging to India only. Soon it will become international. And what we are doing here is OTT crowd testing, over the top crowd testing, specifically for native mobile application. So I think the user receives an OTP on the cell phone, smartphone, and they enter the same. This part of it has the OTP, one-time PIN feature that we will also test.
And guys, so whichever software you use, please mute the audio. You won't be recording the audio. And you do this validation.
So that's basically logged in now.
Yes, Karthik. Yeah, that was a validation.
Good. Now let's go to that Excel sheet, Ramu. So about 180 people performed this task when we did it about a few weeks back for registration and all that. And this is the synopsis of something we initially put. So just at the top, Ramu, let's stay in the top, please. Just scroll, let's look at the columns. So start time, your phone number, what network are you using at that time? Timestamp, start time. Okay. Then platform, Android or iOS and so on. Device, model OS. Browser, or you'll be using the mobile app or mobile web. Now for mobile web, I think for iPhone, it's all
Not
mobile,
applicable.
correct?
Yes, Karthik. That's correct.
iOS.
Yeah.
Can you scroll down?
iOS.
Well, that's fine.
Fine.
Let's come back to it.
Yeah.
So, and then app version of the OTT Z5, mobile carrier, state, OTP, received, next, time taken, a link to the video itself that they have put as an output, and any other comments or questions. So this was one of the submissions that the team performed, everyone. Now let's go back to that Google document once again. So you saw sample output video in the sample Excel. Here are the steps for Android and iPhone. For screen recording, what do we use is also here. Scroll down now. Below are the steps that has to be performed, so on. So now this is the beginning team. And there's a long wait for this application. It's at a very early stages for it. So we will have varieties of testing. But any task that is given, what is important is to do them step by step and with a lot of clarity. So that way it's easy to submit. So while we keep on meeting regularly on talking about learning to test on mobile applications, we will also perform some of the tasks as needed. But my most important thing is, in the next week or two, all of you are nicely skilled. We're all on the same level, and we have good expertise on mobile app testing. Apart from this, I would also give you access to the Ramu, can you go to go.it learn? This mobile app testing projects also there. We can give them access to that to learn a little bit more detailed on some of those ends. All courses. Search there, mobile. Did you search? Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
It's probably not listed as is. We'll send that link to the team. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think I've just scrolled down all the way. Just keep going down. Android, search for Android or iOS, that will also show. Android application security testing. I think this is an important one, team. Just copy this link, Ramu, and we'll also put it into the Google Doc. All right. And what are the other things that we have? We have this crowd testers response form. So we've created this recently. So if you want to submit a response to what you're doing as testing, you can use this. We'll put it into that Excel sheet for us. Show the question also, please, Ramu. India crowd testers. And team, let it be interactive. We want to kind of sit together and do activities and learn as a process. So definitely keep your questions coming in. Okay. How many of you participated in this activity earlier? How many of you are new to it? Can you respond? Yes, please.
I am
Yeah,
new. My name is Sirisha.
Okay, Sirisha. Someone else talking?
I performed for 2 times as you have sent me this G5 crowd testing for OTP login itself.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Kavya.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir, which
Yes.
is preferred which is preferred using our mobile data connection or the Wi-Fi?
Great question. So when it comes to mobile app testing, especially native apps, we want to test them ideally as testers. We want to test them on various no network, airplane mode, 3G or only or 4G only, Wi-Fi. How does this application behave on each of those? So sometimes we will have to repeat them on different network provisions. And we also do it using connecting to a different network from our original network and so on. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I have a quick question.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
So if I want to test it, the mobile apps on different browsers, for example, Safari, Internet Explorer, and Firefox, and so forth. So how do I test it? Is there any specific properties do I need to do in configuration?
Another good question. So for example, when I use my regular personal cell phone, smartphone, I think I only have a Chrome browser on it. Maybe the Safari, I don't use it. I don't think I installed Firefox. So I use Chrome. But that is the user preference. But for project, we have to test it, as you rightly said, on different browsers. What would be important is the browser version and of course the name, so that it is easy to replicate in case there's a defect that comes out. But if you have at least the standard 1 or 2 browsers, that is fine to begin with. And cross-browser testing is the right name for it. So let's see how it works. We will once open it up. Go to the app, Ramu. Can you open it in the here on the desktop once? Application.
I didn't get you, Karthik. Which one you are referring to?
Z5. Can we open it in the browser once?
Okay.
This is not a mobile phone. It's a desktop. But we'll still see how it will work.
But I guess most of the request has been testing on the actual app itself, Karthik, rather than a browser.
I understand, Ramu, but it's not comprehensive. Are you saying that you'll only test the engine and not the tires of the car?
Right, Karthik.
How will we ignore? I didn't understand why you say that.
Because
Take away a specification. That is the essence of mobile app testing. Because the variations and configuration differences that users have across the globe is vast. And hence, it requires that specific testing. And that is, even if you go to an interview team and they ask you, why is mobile app testing different? You should tell them that here is where we get more, we need to be more focused on. So this is how it looks. Log into. Now, can we make it responsive, Ramu, this website?
okay, let me try.
Do we need to log in? No. Okay.
I can try. So I'm waiting for the OTP.
So every time it asks for OTP, is it? Or password?
Yes, either we can give the password or we can ask for an OTP.
Nice. Can you make it responsive, please? The website. Resize it. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Drag it out first from the browser. Get it into a new browser. Okay, double click. Double click, I mean, resize the browser, Ramu. Yeah, narrow it further. So do you see the menu bar slowly? The UI of this application will change. What are you doing, Ramu?
No, I was maximizing it.
I want it into a mobile version size.
Okay, right. This is okay.
It is not okay. This looks like iPad to me. How does the mobile look? Where are we?
I mean, do you want me to increase or decrease the size?
Come on, Ramu. I'm little. 1 second. Hold it. Let go of your mouse totally. A mobile UI does not look like a square. It looks like a portrait or landscape. So you have to get it this further to this. Understood?
Oh, yeah.
And then here, this is how it look. Got it? This is the mobile view. Now, it's responsive. You can also do inspect element. So this is how you're gonna do, team. Right click on it and just go to your inspection or view page source or just inspect. And here, do you see this icon, everyone? The second icon, toggle device toolbar. Click on this. It will now show you the different toggles it's got. This is responsive 400 by 323 and so on. So you can change them to different variation. This is how it look on an iPhone X. This is how it look on something else. Is that clear, everyone? Ramu, is that clear to you now?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, so this is called the responsive view of how a mobile application must look on a browser. One of the easiest ways for us to figure out is these 3 horizontal lines, which is clickable, and it becomes the menu bar there. Yes, everyone? So,
Yes, yeah.
and we can perform that on the desktop also, team, but using this size on different browsers. Now, on your mobile phone, automatically your browser will be of that kind of a landscape or portrait mode. And so this is the other mode. So there's a lot that we need to focus, these small nitty-gritties. If I see this, oh, this is looking okay for Galaxy S5, and then I change that device to something else. So this is some standard tools that are there for us. Why am I not able to click? It's so slow. Browser build tools and so on that can help us do some of these actions further.
I have another question.
Yes, please.
So this is the responsive thing, right? Which is available on Chrome, right? If I want to test it on the same URL on different browser, for example, Safari, do I have the same kind of element recognition? For example, responsive, I see it is that mobile app in the Chrome, right? Do I have similar kind of thing on different browser?
I know these features are inbuilt for Chrome, Firefox. I'm not 100% sure on Safari. We should check once. And the second is, you may not do all of this on a desktop. You may actually perform it directly on the mobile device.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
At that time, if you have them installed, very good.
If I have them installed?
Browsers you have to install, right?
That's right.
Because not all the browsers will come standard, I guess.
That's right, with the operating system of what device I pick.
Cut. So the other browsers we have to download and put the native apps and put it there into our mobile.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anyone else questions? So Ramu, are there any activities for the team for now?
No, Karthik, you haven't received anything this week yet.
Okay. Ramu, can you make sure that you give the all the members who participating free access to that specific mobile Android security testing?
Yeah.
I want them to
sure.
go through those videos, premium videos, as a flow.
Yes, Karthik. Yeah.
So they get some basic idea. It may not have, it's specific to Android, I guess, but it still will give a lot of perspectives to us.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. That's it from my side then.
Do we have session tomorrow again, or today is like last one?
I think we may. I'm not sure. I'll check once with Ramu and confirm.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And we just want to make sure that we get into the rhythm and we start taking topics every day to discuss on them as well. So I want to plan that with Ramu once.
Okay.
I guess even a team can try the same activity once, Karthik. So they can do this OTP validation and share the results.
Can you share that Google document then, Ramu, so they can?
Yeah, sure. I'll do it. Yeah.
And also in the Google document we mentioned, right? where to submit
Yes.
the results?
Yes, all the details will be available.
Hi Karthik, this is Manjula. I have a question. Karthik, can you hear me?
Yes, Manjula, go ahead, please.
Yeah, is it a kind of a training session, or are we going to get paid for this work?
So, if the way we are planning to do it is this, we want
Mhm.
55 states covered across India. We need crowd
Okay.
from almost every state. As of now, the workload is not quantifiable, where I can say that
Okay.
we have 2 hours of work or half an hour of work or something each day. We may get
Okay.
a week, we may not get work for the other week. Out
Okay.
of the, at least out of 200 people who have submitted on the project, maybe 20 will show active. I would love to
Okay.
see who are more active over the next 2 or 3 weeks, more involved,
Mhm.
and definitely find some kind of a remuneration model for them. It may not be, but it will have certain things. Yes. It may not be for all. So I want to specifically choose based on how you're interacting, how much enthusiasm you're showing, and so on. And that's good enough.
Okay.
It's very easy, the project activity.
Okay.
For some of you, it'll get paid. For the ones who
Okay.
want to continue and do certain things. How much amount, we don't know yet. That's another challenge.
Okay.
If I get a good idea, right, that, okay, we have so much work, that's good. However, if the same team can also certification and training for free on Eniot, so
Okay.
you have both the skills. You can do mobile app testing and regular automation manual testings. Then it can be a more long-term position where you can also perform these. So those are the things still consider.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
But yes, I've discussed with the client also about it, and I told the client that as the time progresses on the activity, we compensate the members, and they agreed to it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Will a WhatsApp or Google group be created, or will all the communication be via email?
So we use a Skype group, and we interact a lot in the Skype group. We don't use WhatsApp group.
Okay.
And we think of these sessions like daily stand-up meetings where we can communicate, and whatever we discuss, we will also write it as a minutes of meeting, MOMs. That way, everything is organized for us as to what we have to do.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
And we will use Skype group. Anyone else, team? Very good questions. I like the level of interaction and how you are all participating into it.
So for Skype group, do we need to share our IDs or something, or you're going to have everything like
Ram
before
will
we
be
start
sending
this?
you a URL.
Okay.
You can use that URL to join.
Okay. So do I need to install it on the app also, like on the phone, or it has to be
No,
desktop?
not on the phone. The machine is fine.
Machine is fine. Okay, got it.
Desktop is fine, but I mean, you can also get it on your mobile device for quicker communications.
Okay, thanks.
Who else, team? Anyone wants to be unmuted? Some hands are raised, but I don't see. All right, Ramu, then let's connect with the team later.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Ramu.
Thanks, Shiru. Thanks, Gandhi.
Bye.
Thank you so much.